Clark here. I hope you're all doing well, and being in this place of the pandemic where we're sequestering, I feel like we are just sort of forced into a position of being more with ourselves, and that can be really uncomfortable. And we're less likely to be able to find distractions, especially living up in northern Michigan here. We're just recently really able to get outside as, we had snow on the ground in some of the low areas just last week. And so anyhow, during this time, I found this free class online. Yale University, Professor Laurie Santos was offering it. And it's based on the science of wellness and what really creates happiness for us. And so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to take this class, and I wanted to share in my classes and going forward in my classes some of the really interesting and affirming, really, to our yoga practice content in which I've found. And one of the things that she talks about is, for our life to have meaning, for our life to have meaning. And I've been sitting with that and sort of playing and practicing that in the last couple of weeks. And one of the exercises that we were asked to do is to savor our life, to savor each moment, to extract from each moment that which we are grateful for or that allows us to feel good. And to do this as a practice. And then to journal and write about it, which has been really, really just mind and heart blowing for me. So I thought we could take this aspect of savoring into our yoga practice and have it be one that is mostly yin, a little yang going on if you care to, and using the wall. Wall yoga has been something I've always enjoyed doing myself, and I enjoy sharing it with other folks. So hopefully you've got some wall space available, and you can get your mat against the wall if you're going to use it. That would be great. So the wall provides for us support, and it's also a great teacher. It gives us perspective of our body within not just free space, but with some boundary, which I think is really lovely. And we can just release into it and be supported by it, and you get a chance to see that as well. So I'm going to start off. I've got a little bit of this beautiful doTERRA oil that's a blend. It's mostly lavender, so this helps to release and to relax the nervous system. So you may want to do something like that too if you've got some oil, or may consider purchasing some oil. It's a great investment. Love it. So I'm going to have you be in a weird position. I'm not going to be facing you as the person using the wall, but hopefully you'll follow. One point of really caution is if you're turning to look at me, make sure your neck is not in a vulnerable position, and I'll cue you into that. I just want to make sure you don't hurt anything. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start by placing one hip as close to the wall as we can. Kind of get to the edge of your mat. Legs up the wall, first pose. And then we're just going to kind of lay back and swing the legs up. Now I want to look to center myself as much as possible so that my hips are perpendicular or parallel with the wall. My legs coming up evenly. And then continuing that line up through the spine and the crown of the head, just a nice straight line. And the shoulders roll back as the palms roll open. If you wear glasses, it's best to take them off. It helps just to relax the muscle structure in the face. And here, let's begin with a very satisfying deep inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth, a few of them. And with each breath, as you exhale out through your mouth, let your body become more relaxed and more supported by what's underneath you. Yeah, so then our natural breath, adding to it a little bit in and out of the nostrils. And creating a soothing rhythm. And so may I suggest the opportunity to savor being here. Rather than waiting to see what's going to be next or projecting in any other way or falling into the past, just allowing yourself to have all of the fluids that are in the lower body begin to drain from the feet, the ankles, pool into the pelvis. How wonderful for the heart as it gets a chance to rest. It doesn't have to pump from the lower extremities. And consider here as you nullify the toes into the ankles, a softness in the knees, how there's just a gentle encouragement in the opening of the hamstrings. Perhaps a little tuck of the chin, and then resting in the neck and head. How blessed are we to have this time to be able to connect more fully in a really supportive and nurturing way for our body, our mind. Our hearts will follow. So gradually moving into our second pose, we're going to start to come into the inside of the leg and affect the outer hip as we slide our heels apart as far as they comfortably go. Then as you continue to monitor a smooth, steady breath, we check in. Perhaps using the wall, we ease the heels just a little further away. Not creating pain, but a stretch that feels just really good. Opening, yet relaxing. As we soften in the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders, all the way down into the fingertips. Feeling the natural rise and fall of the belly. Resisting anything, allowing the wall to completely support the heels, the legs. Let's savor this, moment by moment. Now, periodically, the mind, being what it is, will start to jump to different topics. It'll space out. And simply by just being present to its functioning without judging it, you'll come back into the clearing and feel free to lace it with an attitude of gratitude and the savoring consciousness. Complete your next exhale. Then on an inhale, let's go ahead and take the right leg back up. We'll allow the left leg to join it, or we'll just take a moment to pause so that we can witness and experience the transition, the shifting, change in sensation. What's there? So I'd like to move a little deeper into the hips and the piriformis, the buttock, outside area here. So that left leg a little bit more centered. I'm going to bend the right knee and turn that right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh. Now, not right the ankle there, but cross it over a little bit more so you're not right on the joint. And I'm going to flex the foot. Now, if this isn't working for you, you probably are too close to the wall. So if that's your case, just push your feet on the wall and push yourself away from the wall a little bit to create some distance. So you can create, if you will, this upside down number 4 shape. Now, keeping the foot flexed engages the muscle structure around the knee joint so that it protects it. Hinge joint. So that we can work on the rotation of the hip joint without trying to affect this in a way that would be damaging. This might be good enough. You might be feeling it back here. Otherwise, check your edge as you begin to bend your left knee any amount. Take your time so you can really find a place that you can savor, opening in that area. But keeping the back of the pelvis grounded. So I can take this foot down a lot and lift up, but that gets me more into the back. The intention here is right buttock and hip, please. Right foot flex. So give it a few more moments to find a shape that again is satiating, and then just release the palms. Slow, steady belly breathing. Feeling the support of that left foot on the wall without resisting, just letting it be. See, the only things that are being engaged are the right foot and the breath. As we appreciate bringing some spaciousness to the back of this right hip, the piriformis muscle, which can be very tight. If you're a runner or you do a lot of Y-A-N-G activity, this can become shortened and tight. So this is just such a wonderful pose for releasing, creating space for that sciatica, thick nerve, the size of your thumb, running down inside the piriformis all the way down to the heel. Staying present in a savoring way, we create space within the mind, the consciousness, within our hearts. Deep inhale, belly rises. And exhale, go ahead and slide the left heel up the wall if the knee is bent. Right leg joins as we witness and notice. Flushing out the area that we just impinged upon so that the energy, whether it be fluid or metaphysical energy, can traverse through that area more freely, filling it with luscious life force. Other side, shall we? Right leg a little more to center. Left ankle a little further over. Now, without any expectation of this side being the same as the other, as it's quite unusual to be completely symmetrical, left to right, top to bottom. So again, if you need to push away from the wall a little bit if the side's tighter, or maybe you find it's looser and you move closer to the wall, make your adjustments. Left foot flexed. Bending the right knee perhaps. Coming into a sweet spot of sensation behind the left buttock and hip. Too much, not enough. Pinpoint it as best you can. And if you've got a huge arch in the neck, feel free to support it with a pillow or a blanket. Arms off the body helps to release the nervous system more readily. Breathe. So after you're here for a while, you can begin to travel around your inner landscape. Just by doing so, you can bring relaxation to parts of your body that you might be tensing up in. The usual suspects are the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders, the right foot, just the left foot mildly engaged, and riding those life-giving inhales and releasing more fully with deep appreciation into the present with your exhales. Thank you. Thank you for my hips and for their ability to be as healthy as they are, to support my spine, to allow me to dance, to walk, to sit. I am so grateful. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and start to walk that right heel up. The left heel slowly joins as you feel into the transition. Where do you feel? How does it feel? That steady rhythm of slow breathing. So let's work with the core a little bit here now as we interlace the fingers behind the head. We're going to keep the elbows wide open and just relax the legs and feet. And on an exhale, go ahead and lift your upper back. Keep the elbows wide. And on the inhale, go ahead and lower back down. Now we're not measuring how much we lift on the exhales. Keep moving. And lowering on the inhales. Just finding smoothness and satisfaction from this. And consider pushing your head into your hands, an equal amount of pressing your hands into your head to stabilize. And as you lift up, notice what part of your abdominal structure is being affected. Neutral legs just being supported. As the head comes down, let's go ahead and slide the legs further apart again. And a couple here. You may have noticed the sensation shifts to a little lower area. The Svadhisthana, second chakra area, where we're connected to our creativity. Right below the navel. Without tensing up on the legs, let's give it a few more exhales, lifting. Inhales, lowering. So as we lower down, let's go ahead and just release, arms release. Perhaps the breath flowing a little deeper into the lung, a little smoother. Right leg, left leg. Join each other as we take our hands now down alongside of us, palms down. Or thereabout, all right? So we're going to get into a little bit more of a yang movement, a little bit more active as we invert in a supported shoulder stand. So really important, I'll try to cue you verbally so you don't have to turn your head to look at me, or if you do look at me, make sure that you don't do the pose until you're not, so that your gaze is straight up. We don't want to adversely affect the vertebrae of the neck. As we bend the knees, we'll place the feet flat. Some space between them for support. So, on an inhale, pushing my feet in, I'm going to begin to curl my vertebrae up. Feet walk up the wall so that my feet now are in front of my knees. My shins are parallel to the ground. Check the breath. Check sensation. If it's too great, you're going to roll down. And then you're going to roll back up a little bit and just practicing inhaling, rolling up, and exhale, rolling down. Otherwise, we're going to move on from here, bending the elbows, placing the hands on the hips for support. Now you've got the wall too for support, so you can rock shoulder to shoulder, see if you can get your elbows a little closer together, hands a little closer together. Remember, if your eyes are open, you're looking nowhere but straight up if you're in the pose. Breathe. Oh yeah. So here the thyroid is being engaged. We're feeding the brain. Serotonin levels increase. Stay here using the wall, or feel free to lift a leg up. Perhaps scissor it, feel into the hamstring. Please remember, if the breath becomes altered, you're moving too deeply, take your feet back to the wall, and with great gratitude, lower down. Otherwise, keep playing. Maybe that foot finds the wall as the other leg lifts. scissors. Now, only if you've got a good handle on the back of the pelvis can you try a full-out shoulder stand. Spreading the toes wide, press through the ball of the feet. Breathe. Perhaps plow. Be wise in your choices so that you can savor them. We know that more isn't always the best choice. Good. Eventually, let's go ahead and find the wall again. If you haven't, 1 foot, 2 feet. And if you're already lowered down, you might want to come up just a little bit. Remove your arms. And I'm going to bear weight on each vertebrae as I slowly lay them down. So it's like lying down a mala. Each bead finds its position aligning. Each vertebrae. Little tuck of the tail so you can get those lumbar ones. Oh yeah. Deep breath. Oh, thank you. I'm going to tee the arms and take a spinal twist. I'm going to go over to the left, so walking the feet over. Now again, if this is too great for you, you can push away from the wall. If the right shoulder is lifted up and real cranky, just bend the elbow and place the hand somewhere, maybe on the body or on the earth. You don't want to put too much tension in the shoulder. If it's available, head lifts, turns to the right, gets placed down. Not a big torque, just a little bit. And then we look to soften. Run your awareness head to toe and soften. A little softer breath here as we're twisted. All right, so let's go ahead and pat our feet back to center, head back to center. And we'll come on over the other way. The outer edge of the right foot touches down. And again, if this is just too tight for you, you're going to push away from the wall like this so that you can create more space between the wall and your feet. Check that left shoulder, palm down, maybe closer to the hip or on the body. Otherwise, arms teed, head lifts, turns a little to the left, gets placed down. And then see how soft you can get. Allow that relaxation to pour out with every exhale. All right, so let's go ahead and slowly start to look to the right as we take the left arm over to meet the right arm. And in this fetal position, just feel how wonderful your body feels. Maybe a little more calmness in the mind and breath. The left hand plants as we just shift forward so we can come up. Hi. All right. So we're going to do a few things that are a little bit more active here. If you're good at this point, then go ahead and just do legs up the wall and Shavasana. Turn me off. Otherwise, let's come onto our hands and knees and just do a little bit of this. So I'm going to come into a table. And my feet are super close to the wall. So as I curl under my toes, My heels are maybe a couple inches away from the wall. Hands spread wide. My little finger is off the mat. My index finger, my first finger, is pointing straight ahead. Now, why do I do that? Because it puts my elbow and my shoulder in the best possible place to reinforce the strength and the flexibility in that shoulder joint. So, with that position underneath the shoulders and space between the knees, I can cat and cow a little bit, inhaling, lifting head and tail, exhaling, rounding in. So that's cat, inhale, cow. And just savoring the undulation of the spine and the ability to move the energy throughout the body using the central nervous system. All right, friends, we're about to invert again now into a tight down dog because you've got the wall pretty close, right? So see if it's possible now to lift and maybe walk the toes forward a little bit so that the heels remain on the wall about 6 inches apart. Now I'm going to put a bend in the knee and push my hands away from me to take my chest towards my thighs, drop the head, breathe. Try to press more firmly through the index finger and thumb, stabilizing in the joints. Roll the inner elbows towards one another. Breathe. Now, at any time you want to come onto your hands and knees, you can certainly do that. Take a break between sides. Otherwise, let's extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, keeping the toes curled under. Press the chest towards the supportive leg. And we'll switch sides. Again, feel free to come down on your hands and knees first if that makes more sense for you so you can have your breath active and full. Left leg. Pressing. Breathing. All right, let's transition so that our feet are about a foot away from the wall. Put some space between your feet. Hands walk towards the feet. Sits bones glued to the wall. With a bend in the knee, I'm going to inhale and curl up. Coming into a bit of a chair pose here. So my feet, I'm going to walk forward a little bit because I can support myself in the sticky mat, so I shouldn't slip, pushing my feet away from me, drawing my core in, and then placing the back of my arms on the wall and pushing in here too. So a lot of strength happening. Soft face, jaw, toes, breathe. Relaxing in the arms, exhale, bending my knees a little bit more. Check your knee joints if this isn't working. Help yourself all the way down. Big inhale, exhale, coming down a little bit more. Big inhale, exhale, coming down a little bit more, or all the way. So once you find your way, let's go ahead and come into a seated pose. We'll draw one heel in, let the other heel right in front. And just pick yourself up so your spine aligns with the wall. Sits bones really kind of into the very edge here. And then allowing your head to come up and just checking the natural curvatures in your spine. The lumbar arch moving away from the wall, the thoracic spine touching down, the cervical spine moving away, the back of the head touching down. The chin parallel with the earth. And the shoulders relaxed and the palms are open. So as I inhale, I'm going to extend up through the crown of the head, just emphasizing that a little bit more. The lumbar arch plumps up. Then exhale, sliding my head to the right, letting my head be supported, and just breathing that left lung. So as I'm inhaling all the way up the left lobe, up into the collarbone, comfortably, and then exhale, just relaxing and allowing any tensions or tightness, any burdens that I carry around on my shoulder to just melt away. Good. And then rotating my gaze down towards my right shoulder. Shoulders are relaxed down. Inhale here. Then exhale, let the head move away from the wall as the chin rolls towards the chest. Press that upper back into the wall as you inhale. Chest lifts. Exhale, head hangs even heavier. Breathe. Let's take it around to the left, so we'll rotate, so we're looking down towards the left shoulder. The left side of the head above the ear comes to the wall as close as possible. As we fill and empty now the right lung. Exhale, softening, savoring what goodness you're bringing to your body. And then calmly rotating the head so that the back of the head is on the wall, the left ear just cascading down towards the left shoulder, the right shoulder relaxed, the jaw, the eyes. Any anticipation. Good. So inhale, slide the back of the head up. Deep inhale, exhale out through the mouth, and just savor what you have just done for yourself. Just releasing the need for frenetic, wild energy and allowing yourself to be content with calmness, with simplicity. So let's let the body flush out for a minute or two in a Shavasana. So we're just going to lay flat on our mats. Help yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Earth, for supporting me. The food that I eat. Thank you for the water. Thank you for the air that I breathe. Thank you as I lie here in a state of gratitude, of grace, and savoring appreciation. Natural breath. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, let's go ahead and just begin to inhale, bring our legs closer together, and maybe stretch our arms up. Just feel those pillars of our heart stretching, bringing our knees in to give them a hug. Oh, thank you, body. Thank you for all you do for me. Thank you. And as we roll on to one side or another, let's help us up into a seat so we can close together. And as we move into our lives, perhaps we can bring this mindset of savoring frequently throughout our day and just begin to see how it shifts and changes our perspective. And so even the simplest experience can bring us a deep sense of gratitude. And when we're in that state, the way our cells reproduce is in the highest possible functioning way. Our immune system benefiting consistently from the state of savoring grace. Namaste, friends.